All right, so today you're going to be learning about how to write the body paragraphs for your argumentative essay. So there are 3 steps to writing a body paragraph. The first step is to find evidence to support your reasons. So you're going to be looking in that packet that you got to find the reasons that you need, as well as evidence to support it. So that means you're taking pieces from the text and using that to help back up your reason. After you found your evidence, you need to determine where your information is coming from. So that means what is the title and who is the author of the source that you're using. And then step 3 is that you need to explain how my evidence supports my reason. And this can be tricky for 6th graders. This is where you have to make a connection between what you found in an article, your evidence, and your reason. You have to explain why it's important. So today you're going to look at an example to help you make that connection between what you have to do. So our reason number 1 in our example is that animals should be kept in zoos because zoos help people learn about conservation. So we're going to need to base everything that we do around this first reason. So my first step is to find my evidence. So I'm going to look in my text that I have, and maybe I found this piece of evidence. So I looked in the text, Zoos and Aquariums Have a Positive Impact on Visitors by Oliver Dunhill, who was a zoo and aquarium manager. And I found this quote. It says, zoos and aquariums, recognized by the Association of Zoos and Aquariums, the AZA, work to actively educate their visitors. We offer lectures and show videos that feature some of the animals in the zoo. These topics can cover an animal's natural environment, what its diet is, or what dangers it faces from human presence. These programs might be the only time that adult visitors learn about why plastic bags are dangerous to sea turtles and birds, for example. All right, so this is the piece that I want to use to help back up my reason that zoos help people learn about conservation. So now I got to move on to my second step. Where is my information coming from, and how do I include that in my paragraph? So I highlighted in green here the title of my article and my author, Oliver Dunhill, and because he's the speaker, he's the one that's talking here, he's the one that gave me this quote, I'm going to use him to introduce this evidence. So I need to use something like according to the author, and in this case I would say according to Oliver Dunhill, or the author says, or the author states. There's a whole bunch of different ways you can introduce a quote, and we'll talk more about that as we go on. But these are just some basic ones that you can include in your writing to introduce your piece of evidence. So here's mine. I said according to Oliver Dunhill, zoo and aquarium manager, and then I go on to include my piece of evidence in my article, or in my essay. All right, so now I'm on to step 3. This is where I have to explain and make a connection between what my evidence is saying and my reason. So down here in blue, I have conservation is when humans take steps to protect animal species and their habitats. By having the animals featured in these lectures, people are able to make a connection with the animals and may feel stronger about conservation. All right, so you might be asking, how do I come up with this connection? Well, you need to start thinking about, well, I need to make a connection between my reason and my evidence. My reason's about conservation, so I need to figure out how does my evidence show that zoos help people learn about conservation. You can add a definition. This is a big one. If you're talking about something like conservation that your reader might not know about, include it in your explanation. That's always a great way to get your reader to see the connection between your evidence and your reason. Ask yourself, why is this evidence important? What is it showing to my reader to help them understand why this evidence supports my reason? So you can see in the evidence that I used, I picked out a little piece that said that we offer lectures and show videos that feature some of the animals in the zoo. And I connected that at the bottom by saying, by having some of these animals featured in these lectures, people are able to make a connection with the animals and feel stronger about conservation. So this is where you really have to connect the dots between what you're trying to say in your reason and your evidence. So now you just put it all together. You make it into a paragraph form. So my final product says, animals should be kept in zoos because zoos help people learn about conservation. According to Oliver Dunhill, Zoo and Aquarium Manager, zoos and aquariums recognized by the Association of Zoos and Aquariums, the AZA, work to actively educate their visitors. We offer lectures and show videos that feature some of the animals in the zoo. These topics can cover an animal's natural environment, what its diet is, or what dangers it faces from human presence. These programs might be the only time that adult visitors learn about why plastic bags are dangerous to sea turtles and birds, for example. Conservation is when humans take steps to protect animal species and their habitats. By having the animals featured in these lectures, people are able to make a connection with the animals and may feel stronger about conservation. So this was just an example. You're going to get some more practice in your guide, but use these steps to help you, especially when you have to write your article or your essay about pit bulls.